Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Ty Mizzle. You watch my channel Mizzle14. And I'm back doing a review of Iyanla Fix My Life, Season 8, Episode 2. My marriage is none of our business. Alright, so this episode was a good one. It was straightforward. It's about a couple who get into relationships and get into marriage so quickly when not having built a foundation of what their marriage is supposed to look like. Also, at the same time, getting a marriage not even knowing fully on themselves. So when you get a marriage, you got these expectations of what you want, but it's not working. So you enter it, you have children, life is passing by, but you're not happy. So you end up falling out of love with the person, and you still probably love the person, but you just fell out of love with them because you're not getting what you want. So because you're not getting what you want, you became disappointed with the person that you with. And you maybe not communicating as much, you maybe not saying much, you maybe just want them to get it right. And then you nag and you fuss and you fight and you just get you checked out. So you don't know. So we find out this couple, Deidre and Idris, they only got married after 6 months of dating. I don't know about you, but I am not marrying someone after 6 months. You still don't know the person enough to get married with them and to live well and to start a relationship. Now, they was dating for 3 months and then they moved in with each other. I think he moved in with her. And they moved in with each other. And then after 6 months, they got married. He had 2 children, no, 7 children. He got 7 children before the marriage. She had 2 children before the marriage, and then they had 2 together. So they make a total of 11 children together in the relationship. Not on top of that, you have 11 children together as a collective couple. You got married after 6 months. You don't barely know each other like that. You moved in, and then y'all feel that the marriage is stagnant and is not going anywhere because y'all can't communicate. Y'all don't have issues. So Deidre and Idris both came in, and they was both blindfolded by Iyanla. And it was 3 doors with different responses. And when they took the blindfold off, she asked them to stand by the door that most match of what you feeling right now, or how you feel this marriage. So Idris went first, and he put, "I made my bed, now I have to lie in it." That's what he mentioned. Put, and then Deidre mentioned how if he only knew. So when Iyanla asked each one of them what their responses towards each other in their choices of the door picking, Deidre said she understands why he picked that because her father was like that. Her father got into marriage not because he really wanted to get married with her, and in fact he got into marriage because it was obligations or something like that, and he got children, and whether he did it because he thought that was supposed to be. So she understands, and so she's not surprised about the answer he picked. Because in some way, shape, or form, she thinks that he got married just to be married with me because of circumstances, but not because he really wanted me as his wife. And she chose if he only knew. What did he doesn't know that he didn't get privy to before? Like, she's not speaking stuff. She's not saying things. She's not explaining exactly what he doesn't know, what he don't he know about you, or what? What are you not saying to make him feel like you feel like he doesn't know your true intentions in a relationship or your true thoughts of what the marriage is supposed to be? So when AI sat to sit down, she asked him, "What made you choose that? You made your bed. What bed did you made, and why you had to lie on it? What was the issue?" And he basically said he just got in marriage, but he feel like he's stuck and he's alone and everything. And we also found out that they got in the business together. So not only they married and they working as a marriage, but also they working as business partners. So those 2 separate type of relationships. So if your marriage is falling apart and your business is falling apart, What is y'all doing? What exactly is causing the breakdown of the marriage and your business? And I don't believe that people who in relationships together should go in business together, because stuff in your marriages does trickle down in stuff in your business. If you don't separate the two, or you don't have a foundation in both aspects of your life, then it will crumble. And then you should not take an accountability or take ownership. You shift the blame, and that's what he has been doing. He don't take accountability of what he have done. He blames others of the failure that he experiences, because he never clearly defined the roles or the things that need to be done in the organization of his business. So when it's falling apart, he don't take ownership of it. He don't count. He don't hold accountable. He blames his wife of the failure, and he don't trust her as a business partner. Then vice versa, she don't trust him as a business partner. But back to the statement why he made his bed, he said he just didn't make the right choice, or not even the right choice, but he just feel like it wasn't a right time to even go that far, because a lot of things going on with marriage and the things. And he not saying he wouldn't leave the marriage because she's sloppy or whatever like that. He just said he tired of difficulties. That's the reason he got in a marriage with the woman, and that it's so difficult. Now he realized he made his bed of choosing being married, and not realizing that he already in, and he is dealing with the consequences of the failure of marriage. And now he want to pick things up. But he said if all the difficulties got taken away, then he will stay. But right now, part of him is want to get out of the relationship. He want to get out of the marriage. So she asked him, "Are you focused on? Are you in or you out?" Because at a point he wasn't really explaining whether he's gonna be in or out of the relationship and the marriage, and he wasn't really clear. I said, "Are you in? What are you doing? Like, you out the door, all the way out this marriage? You halfway out? You want, like, what do you want? And is it because you want out of the marriage, or you want out of the difficulties?" And he said he want out of the difficulties, and that's something they had to work on. And not the marriage itself; it's just the problems they have. And then she's in. She said she loves her husband. She not in love with her, and the same as him, he not in love with her, but they do love each other. But she's all in, despite the difficulties, despite everything that's going on, and he's out the door of the difficulties. So we got to have what is going on, because we got one person who really want to fight and another person who don't want to fight. But then there's no fire into even making it work. You just want to check out. Or if she is trying to make it work, is she not really put much effort to make it work? Another aspect of this thing is the roles that they is portraying. What are your clear defined roles in a relationship? Are you acting as a brother and sister towards each other? Are you acting as a mother and child? Or you acting under of a husband and wife? What role are you playing? Is he your father? Because you've been disappointed by him, you're not saying much of him, and because we find out they both are children of addicts, and he didn't know that. And that's what happened when you get married so quickly and not even realize the pieces of the person that you getting married to, and don't know their history and their childhood upbringing. Is that the fact that she said she got disappointed by her father a lot because he was an addict, and she just tired of him not pleasing and not being around and being there for her. So when she see her husband not doing things that he needs to do, she get upset and get disappointed. So either when she says it or she don't say it, and it comes up of her nonverbal language. And when that happens, you go to aspect of not the husband, you go to aspect because he's like your father, and because you married, because most women marry their father or the lack thereof. And so they looking for the person who could be the father figure. Since her father disappointed her, she looking to her husband to make things correctly. but she's looking at it the wrong way because is he's your father or he's your husband? And if he's your husband, you got to change the way you communicate. The communication has been a big issue with their marriage. So you had to learn how to communicate. She withholds things, so she don't speak her mind as much that she needs to. And but when she do, she start nagging, and to the point that it tunes him out. Like you could do a better explanation and a better way for someone to understand you and listen to you if you have the communication skills to make them listen, want to listen to you. But when you start hammering and going at them and talking to them like you mothering them, they shut down. And sometimes, yes, some men does need the mothering because they don't have the proper um, way to have become a man, and that's was the issue. Because since he didn't really have a father raise him, and he was kind of abandoned because his father took him to live with a grandma, and they dropped him off, and he was living with grandma until he was like 9 years old, and he felt abandoned, so nobody was really there for him like that until his mom came when he was 9 years old. Because of that, he became a father and not realizing growing the man that he should be. He didn't really have the example of what a man should be. So he had to teach himself or learn a lack thereof of the absence of his father and learn how to be a man. Since he didn't really learn fully how to be a man, he became a husband. And now he, as a husband, is not fully equipped to be a best husband that he could be because he didn't become the best man that he supposed to be. And since that broken, that he got in a marriage as a broken man and not fully developed as a man, they get with a woman who fully didn't define her womanhood as self and get in a marriage of not fully being a successful wife to understanding. So having a broken foundation of who you are individual as a man and woman, then you get to marriage, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because y'all both don't know who you really are deep inside. What do you value? What do you hold dear? What are you as a person that get in the marriage or the union with someone as a partnership and not having a foundation of who you really are? So basically, the foundation of the marriage is faulty because y'all never came with a clear expectations or what it's supposed to be. So when the communication with those two is not up to par and she feels disappointed, she goes to nagging mode. Now, like Iyanla was saying, you go, you're not doing this and this and that, and you feel like this. Also, it's like it's a different way how you approach things to make someone listen to you. Like if you understand and you come to understand it and say, listen, I just want to say that I see the children that you raise it is becoming a person that you know you don't want to be or something like that. And it's a way different way. But if you go by and say, I told you not to do this, your kids are being lazy, and this is that, and it shuts them out. Just like you talk to anyone, you talk down at them, it shuts them out. So you have to have a different approach of how to handle things. So Iyanla asked them to sit down and see if y'all want to save the marriage or y'all want to save the business, because we finally got the business together. How they got the business together is, well, she was working because at the first she was financially dependent on him, so he was paying everything and she wasn't working, and then she got to work now because she wanted to take care of herself and stuff. And so I guess that's part of her why she didn't want to leave, is because she was dependent on him. He was everything, and now they're business together, and now that's not good. But she's fighting on to save the marriage. But he was really wanting to get out the door. So she was working at the time, and she didn't like the people that she was working with. So she basically just told him that I'll go work with you, and this is what it is. And he just said, okay. So she said, if you know you didn't want that, and he didn't really want her to be business partner with him, to go to business with him. But if you didn't want that, you didn't communicate that. And in fact that she probably told you, like she's mothered you, she told you, I'm getting this business and this is going to be it. And now when the business not working, you're blaming each other. You mainly blame her that she didn't do it well. She's not successful. I don't trust her as a business partner. Yada yada yada. When the part of the taxes not being done, why the taxes wasn't done, and you know that had to be done, and she was saying that you're not doing it, and it's been like 5 years. What's going on? He said she supposed to do it, but was it clear? And when they first opened the business, that she was supposed to do the hand of the taxes? It was a clear that she was head in a financial background and he was going to do the other things. It was a clear. So he didn't have a clear rubric of the business that he started that brought her into it. Because that was a clear and the roles was defined, that was faulty. So when things fall apart, he don't take ownership of it. He blames her because he doesn't trust himself to know that he didn't do it well, and because he sets the business up to fail. Because he set the business up to fail, then it's very easy for him to say, I can't trust her because it's not working, our business not doing well, whether because you haven't found the foundation of it. There was no planning in both parts, but mainly him because it was his business that he opened. So because that fall apart, the business side is messed up, and so the marriage is messed up. So they had to make a choice: or do you want to save the business or the marriage? Because you're trying to handle both, it gonna hurt y'all unless y'all doing a clear foundation of how to handle each other, to work it out. So they both say they want to save their marriage. So this what it is. How can you save your marriage? Did you tell her you don't want her to work in with you? He said no. Why you don't tell her? Tell her now. And what do you need to him to know about that? So they're going back and forth and everything. And at some point, Iyanla asked Deidre to go outside. And she spoke to Idris. She said, who do you look up to? Who do you hold accountable to when you mess up? He said, myself. She said, that's dangerous. A man who goes around, do things, and hold himself accountable. Not to the aspects of something happened, he got to hold accountable, but who do he look up to? Who do you respond to when stuff mess up? And when you say yourself and no guidance, then that's a dangerous man. You got no spiritual background. She asked him his spiritual background, and he said he Islam, but he hasn't been practicing. So the fact that he don't have that spiritual backing to what he is doing, it's like he just in there, out in the world alone. And that's how he felt when he was younger. So since he don't have that, he don't have a prayer, or, a foundation of spirituality, or he'll talk to the higher power, then days is just floating by. And he don't have anything to really check, to go release, to hold him accountable, to make him successful and be the standard person that he could be. So when she was complaining that how he's lazy, and he said he's not lazy, she said, yes, you are, because you be sleeping all the time. And he said he works a lot, and he take care of the bills, he taking everything, all the time you go to bed. And then we wake up, he does things. So it's a lot of heavy burden. So it's this projection and perceptions and stuff that you want each other to do, but you're not communicating. So then you get disappointed and you get upset, and then you want to leave out the marriage, or you disappointed and you want more of him, but you start nagging him to the point that you call the mother of him because you disappointed and you talk to him like he's your father, and then in fact you don't want to disappoint your father, so you want to disappoint him. So it's that. And so from that aspect, Iyanla talked to Deidre and she realized that she had a lot of things. She was part of the problem more than she thought she was. It was like maybe she thought it was maybe on him, but she realized she was part of the problem. She's not saying things. She's not speaking her mind. And when she do speak her mind, she nags. And she just like staying in a relationship with someone and not really happy, but not making an effort to make it better. And then you get a business relationship, and y'all not making that work as well. You're putting the blame, and you're not doing this, and he's supposed to do this, and this and that, and you don't want to disappoint you, but you don't really express yourself. That's part of the issue. And then Iyanla has put a robe on and want to here and said, this is how you look up to her. And so the man wanted to be visually appealing and visually stimulated to even want more and stuff like that. Because he's not getting that, he don't want to see this. You are basically setting yourself short. And because she just came in with hair not being done and stuff like that, not because she is nappy or stuff, but it came like a little girl style. And she said, you can't be walking in here like you're a 14-year-old girl when you got a whole husband who will please everything to see you the way the woman that you could be and not treat you like a daughter or like a sister or something like that, but as a wife, then makeover. So she got a makeover and she looked really good. You could tell the difference. You could see she looked, her hair was more laid out. She looked like a grown woman, not like a 14-year-old child who trying to play house. And that's what they was doing. Like, yeah, I say, y'all playing house. Y'all not really focusing or building. Y'all just playing house. Like, this will happen. We got married, we got kids, and let's move by. But not building the structure and foundation that y'all need to have a successful marriage and the business. I feel like they should just save the marriage and not do business together, and that will help their marriage. But since they continue going to do the business together, then he needs to work harder to found a solid goal, a focus plan of his business, and structure the way that clear responsibilities is being made and duties is being performed. So she got the makeover and she looked really nice. And he wrote a little prayer to his wife and was being touched by it. And they realized they had to be a team. They had to be working example for their children to show a healthy relationship. It had to be an effort. And Iyanla told them that marriage is not destroyed by the outside. All marriages is or destroyed from inwards out, and that's how it is. People always put outside factors of the falling of the relationships. No, your marriage fall because what happened under your marriage inside yourself. Inside your marriage that leads outwards. So when this is broken and it go outwards, then your marriage is falling apart. It's not the outside. So they work together. They all decide to go in and work in this relationship because as one party was already out the door and the one person really want to be in, y'all gotta have that common ground. And I hope that they take the tools that Iyanla gave them of communication well and speaking things differently and think of each other as a husband and wife and not as a mother and father, not as a sister and brother. What are you all towards each other? If you're husband and wife, move in the direction of being husband and wife. And when that is solid, then all your other aspects of children and business and stuff will be solid. And that's how I got from this episode. So it was good. Gave a good lessons towards marriages is that you got to be clear and direct on what you want. And also define who you are inside because you won't do any good for anyone else if you are not clear of who you are and then you get into a relationship as a broken person and trying to see if y'all can be complete. You can't go broken and get a relationship and think you're going to be healed and whole because you are broken. No, you got to fix this, the person you are, and then you will be a better husband and wife of the person you with. All right, that was Iyanla Fix My Life, y'all. It was a good episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. If you do subscribe, hey y'all, and also hit that notification bell and pick all. That means that you will be notified for every video that I upload and every live that I will do. Okay? So I'll talk to y'all later, y'all. Peace.